Hello, Cruising World, Mick the Suit Guy with you. Today we are in Australia. We're heading up to the Great Barrier Reef Way for a stop at Airlie Beach, where they have part of the Great Barrier Reef. It stretches all the way down. It goes as far as Cairns, Port Douglas and past there. But Airlie Beach is probably the most well-known area for it. So we're not really big snorkelers, and I don't like going in the water with not knowing what's underneath me. Plus, I can't swim. So not a good combination of factors for me to want to go snorkeling anywhere, let alone there where they got big sharks. So we went in a plane up and over, which was an experience in itself, because it was a rickety plane. We'll leave that there. There's only 4 of us. Randomly, the couple we met, and we had no idea, were from Tampa. And we live in St. Petersburg, right outside Tampa. So that was random. But that aside, I'm going to show you some video of the port, and then our plane ride, which was unbelievable. So I hope you enjoy this little look around Airlie Beach in the Great Barrier Reef area of Australia. All right, so here we are getting off of the ship in Airlie Beach. You'll walk down here and you go through like a welcome center. They have a couple of small food stalls in there. And so it's for all sorts of tours, not just cruise ships, as you'll see. But we're getting off here. So a little bit of a walk. There's your standard photographers trying to get pictures. And there's us trying to avoid the pictures. So you're going to walk up here. There's the welcome center. Beautiful day we had. And then once you get into the welcome center, you're just going to walk through. There's other people doing other little cruise tours or whatever you have. So again, this was for everybody, not just cruise passengers. And then we decided to walk into town and walk around a bit because our excursion, the flight, wasn't for a little while. So we had plenty of time to walk around. So here's that main area I was telling you about. There's a couple of food stalls in here at the end there. And ticket places where you can, if you're doing other sort of tours. Sorry, the food places were down that end, I believe. I was looking the wrong way. And then outside here is where everybody will pick you up. This is where your shore excursion pickup place will be. And this is where our pickup was. So we knew we had to come back here. But this is pretty much where everybody gets you. But we had plenty of time, so we decided to walk into town and see what it was about. So you just follow this path and go to the left. We basically followed everybody else because we could tell other people knew where they were going. So they had a hop-on, hop-off shuttle bus all day to take you into town as well if you wanted to. But it wasn't too much of a walk. So there's some waiting areas here in the shade because it was hot. There's those shuttle buses. There's a croc safari bus there. So for the different tours, they'll have all sorts of buses in here. We wanted to do a croc safari. We never got the chance. We were going to do one in Port Douglas, but that stop was cancelled, unfortunately. Weather can be very temperamental out here. So I hear of a lot of port stops being cancelled, unfortunately. We went to Tangalooma, but that was almost cancelled as well. I know the following week it was cancelled, and they cancelled it before we finished this cruise. So I think the following week was a 4-day cruise to nowhere. But anyway, so we just walked out and we followed this path. We went through this little marina area here. And we noticed in the distance at a craft fair, so we headed towards that. On the left, you see those buildings there. There are some restaurants in there as well. Looked like there were some office buildings and maybe some apartments in there too. But as you can see, we got lucky with a glorious day. There's my shadow holding my GoPro. How professional is that? So we just walk down here and you just keep walking straight ahead and then you'll get to this area. We're looking back where we just came from. And then we're going to walk down here to that little craft fair, and then we went into the town and walked around there. Now, there were those little tours inside that welcome center, but there weren't really any people offering private tours or private companies per se. You had to walk into town if you were looking to book one of those. But if you pre-book one, they will have met you out front. But if you were looking to book when you arrived, if you didn't like what you saw there, and there was pretty limited, you'd have to walk into town. And there were some shops in town. Here's a little beach area here. After we passed through the craft fair, you just walk through there, and this was on the other side. And then the town center is just going to be up on the left, right here. So this is where you would find some private tour shops if you were looking to do that. All depends on how much time you have. There was one right there. But we just decided to walk up and down because obviously we had our tour booked. We did a flight with Whitsunday, as I said earlier, over the Great Barrier Reef, which was amazing. Just hold on. It's like a teaser. It's like a clickbait video almost. I don't do those. But this is a clickbait because wait till you see the video I took going over the Great Barrier Reef. Or does that mean you're just now going to fast forward to that point? Probably. Not going to tell you where it is. Maybe I hid it. So there's the Airlie Beach Lagoon. We did notice quite a few of the ports. Cairns had a lagoon. A lot of places had a lagoon. They usually have lifeguards out there as well. This is the Airlie Beach version. I'll have a video coming up on Cairns hopefully very soon. Basically, these are man-made swimming areas away from the ocean. And they can be pretty deep in places as well, hence the need for lifeguards. But Australians, they like to swim. They like all sports. Here's some info on what you can and can't do there. Lifeguard on duty. So yeah, caution deep water, because if you come from another country, you're used to it only being like 3 feet deep. These places can go very deep. So there's the lagoon. Maybe a 15-minute walk from the ship. So after we did our tour of the town, we got our transportation to the plane. Here we are. This is the 2 people. There was 4 of us in the plane. They were giving us our instructions. That's our pilot there. There's Julie on the right. And here we are in the plane. Yes, it was a tight fit. And it didn't go very high. It was a little bit nerve-wracking. I'm not going to lie. I'm not used to very small planes like this. But the payoff was worth it when we finally got to go over the Great Barrier Reef. So I'm going to show you us just taxiing and taking off just to give you a feel of the plane that we were in. Pilot was great, very informative, knew his stuff. Got us up and down safely. And at the end of this, like I said, I'll show you the video of us going over the Great Barrier Reef, which was impressive to put it mildly. So yeah, a little bit shaky as you can see. He did warn us, especially when we started to go out over the water, there would be a bit of turbulence, and there was, but he knew it'd be safe, so he said, don't panic. I'm glad he told us that, because if he hadn't, then, yeah, I won't say what might have happened. But this is about as high as we went. When we went actually over the Great Barrier Reef itself, we did go much lower. But we got some fantastic views of the land, let alone the Great Barrier Reef, as you're about to see. Well, not just, yeah, in about a minute. We're closing in. So yeah, some nice views. And here we are coming into land. I thought I'd show you this one because this was, yeah. That's actually a larger plane that had just come in, and he was waiting for it to come off the runway so he could come in and land. When I say larger, I mean not large, but larger. So yeah, and it was interesting. It looked like he cut the engine right before we landed. But yeah, see, looks like the engine just basically stops and then starts again. So yeah, that was an interesting landing. But this was the end of our trip. But don't worry, the video is still to come. I'll leave you with that. So here we are back safe and sound. I'll show you just a couple of quick pictures of Airlie Beach itself, and then we'll show you the video with some pictures to finish on. So that was our little walk around Airlie Beach. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell, and you'll get notifications when new videos come out. And don't forget, click on the links to the left and right of me. You can watch playlists, new video suggestions, and more. Any questions? Email me, cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. And don't forget, I'm a travel agent. Email for help.